Figured the old lady would pay with kingly coin for rumors like that. So all there is to it. You satisfied, love?
Please be satisfied so I don't need to do this voice anymore. My dear friend, this isn't even half of the story I wanted to hear. You better get to the more juicy stuff right away. Cinders, why? Hello everyone and welcome back to 4pixels. Coco is here continuing the visual novel Cinders. Very well. See, I knew we would come to an agreement sooner or later. Would you like to step outside and tell me everything, my friend?
Yes, missy, lead on.
Are you sure about this, Cinders? Don't worry, we're all friends here after all. Alright, let's stop here and talk.
Not exactly a hiding place, middle of town, eh, love? Sure it could use some more privacy.
I'm not going to give the chance to escape now. Don't try anything stupid. The captain's right on the other side of the street. Remember that.
Fine, you little devil! I'll tell you what I know. Just don't yell if I can't remember all the details. I've short memory.
You've heard my question already. What was the message you brought to Carmosa? A dashing young gentleman like yourself should have no trouble recalling the last few days.
Blazing hell, lassie, you and your adder's tongue. I remember. So I was out in the woods, resting me head on the ground. Enjoying the peace and quiet that only nature can bring. Calm shimmer of the lake, awake from the wickedness.
Don't digress.
Of the city, sleeping like a brat I was.
Do you often sleep outdoors? Why were you sleeping by the lake?
Now that's a mighty good question, innit, love? Can't say I know the answer though, I just woke up there. Old and magical place, the pond in the woods. Me auntie used to tell me stories of.
Get back to the topic, will you?
But I'm on it. I woke up and heard voices. Thought 'twas just me, like me auntie's stories of the fair folk, you know, made of light and wisp, prettier than the finest ladies there are. But they were no wisps.
And what happened then?
I hid. What else? This head's still upon this neck 'cause it knows when it's time to jump into the bushes.
You know what I mean. Who were those people?
Ah, an excellent question, buddy. Me guts tells me you'll love this. 'Twas the noble Captain Perrault, and he was talking to the prince.
The prince was talking with Perrault in the woods? It seems a bit strange, doesn't it? What were they talking about?
Oh, some past problems of the rich folk. Too much free time's bad for the head. Our future His Royal Highness kept on whining about wenches of all things. How they're all empty-headed or boring to talk to.
The prince was discussing women?
That he was. Very unkingly of him if you ask me. And foolish too. Who cares if the bird's dumb or dull? That's not what I want from me wenches.
Yes, wonderful. Now back to the subject, please. What did they speak of?
The captain said something about rules, but I didn't hear that part with my head still spinning in the water, shimmering so loud.
What? Shimmer isn't something to do with sound? I mean, as far as I know, I guess I'll have to look that up just to double check.
Don't know what they meant, but the prince was mighty happy and said something about the ball. The Grand Ball. He got some idea in that royally empty head of his. I heard it's 'cause of them crowns. Very bad for the head. Anyway, there was a new idea that he liked.
The Grand Ball? Or the Ground Ball? It doesn't sound familiar.
That's the excuse they made up so the kings and princes can't pick their wenches like vegetables in the market. Only regular folk don't crown the cucumbers they bought as queens. At least not often.
So it's a tradition.
Yeah, that. They always use that fancy name if something doesn't make any sense anymore.
So what was the prince's new idea?
'Twas about masks, making all the lassies wear them.
You mean a masked ball? A masquerade?
I didn't know the rich birds are so horrid.
I don't think it's because of that. Did he say why the masks are so important to him?
It had something to do with the elders, the families, lot of lords and ladies waiting to trade their daughters and only one prince. Too much competition's bad for business and tempers.
So he's trying to dodge accusations of being biased. Clever.
I knew that. Don't know what's wrong with seeing a nice face, though. And what if the bird's got a pimple right between her eyes, won't notice nothing with masks and such, unless he wants to ogle their curves? Ooh, bit on the nasty side, nobles. Me auntie told me stories, gossips really, about the shenanigans going on between them nobles in the palace. Stuff that'd make a confessor blush.
Alright, I get the picture. A masked ball, you say? It makes a lot of sense, actually. The prince can pretend he's choosing his bride by judging her more subtle qualities. There's no way of any of the houses accusing him of favoring one over another. Who knows? Maybe he isn't really pretending. Perhaps having a choice is what he really wants?
Devilishly clever, love. Glad you've got the smarts to see through all that. Saved me time having to explain all that to ya. Ball for the noble birds, and they all have a chance, no matter how pimply or horrid. Made me think of Carmosa and her pretty lassies. No, not you, the other wenches. I mean, sisters. Your lovely sisters. Figured the old lady would pay with kingly coin for rumors like that. So all there is to it. You satisfied, love?
Please be satisfied so I don't need to do this voice anymore. My dear friend, this isn't even half of the story I wanted to hear. You better get to the more juicy stuff right away. Cinders, why?
It's all there is to it, I swear on me auntie's pimples. Ugh.
No threatening. Appeal to his morals. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say he has no morals, but I don't think that's really gonna work with him. He's clearly a person who is interested in money and ensuring his own safety. So unless there's something in it for him, then he's not going to help. Especially not since we're threatening him with parole. So let's see if we can focus on connection with Carmosa. It's all fine and beautiful what you've told me, but there are so many things missing, my friend. Like, why is it so important for Carmosa that the ball will be a masquerade? But what puzzles me even more is how you knew it'd be interesting for her in the first place. You would have to know her pretty well to figure that out. This has something to do with your past, doesn't it? You've been working for her for quite some time, haven't you? Achievement unlocked, Candle of Wisdom.
Fine, there is one thing. A wee detail, really nothing.
Really? Nothing?
I knew this rumor would be worth a lot for the lady, you know. I know her and know what she's like.
So you did work for her before. What did you do?
I might have given her a hand earlier with the bar, love, so she could get in.
How?
The goose and her ducklings weren't exactly invited. The lady asked me to help them.
Help them how?
Oh, let's just say it required a bit of quality craftsmanship.
You mean you forged invitations for them? Ah, so I did think there was forgery involved before. But it's coming in right here.
Me? Sure I didn't. Me talent knowing folks with talent of their own. Got them invitations from a friend. Reckon the old lady's bit dim if she thought nobody noticed she got with fake papers. But hey, who is me humble person to doubt a noble lady in her ways of spending money?
And that's how you learned how important the ball was for her. So when you heard about the masquerade, you told her about that as well. As she said, she could get into the ball with fake papers, but she would risk getting recognized. Not so much if it's a masked ball, and that's why this information was worth so much to her.
Eh, see? It's only a wee job, a nil. Only natural this bloke forgot all about it, eh?
So this means that she could actually be in deep trouble. Incredible. Carmosa ordered a forgery. This could be my chance. Oh.
Oi! Lassie, you even listening? Can I go now? A man can handle only so many stressful events in one day, you realize?
This could be my leverage. What? Oh yes, you can do what you wish. You already helped me a lot. Oh, Carmosa, your secrets really are your greatest weakness. Interesting. So, maybe this is what the beginning was all about. Since Cinders can now go ahead and rat Carmosa out. And that would be what brought Pro over to the house. Can you imagine when Carmosa withheld that minor detail from all of us? Who would have thought our friend was such an able business person? She sure gets around. Oh yes, let us concentrate on the aptitude of the unimportant guy. The big problem and potential scandal is not going anywhere anyhow. I'm sorry, Cinders. It's just a big surprise for me, as well as information of some consequence. He's just a vagabond, you see, and everyone recognizes him as one. And I've hired him numerous times, always for some minor and menial task, and yet here he is, a sparkling potential criminal mastermind. Who would have... Tobias, concentrate! What is the subject of this conversation? Oh, this is hard. Not him, then. Very good. See, you can do it if you try hard enough. Alright, back to the main point. What do you want to do with this newly acquired information? I have no idea yet. Do you think this could get Carmosa into prison? Is that what you want? I'm not sure yet. I'm just weighing my options. Well, in that case, it definitely could be used against her, but would it suffice? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if it would either. Like, she was trying to sneak some people into a ball that's for the prince, so people might think she has other intentions other than to just get her daughters to be potential brides, but without proof of that, we don't know if it would actually go that far. Like, maybe they would jail her for a little bit, but once they realize what her intentions were... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that would be enough to jail her. Do you think I should try to get her arrested? You should be the one to make this decision, just as it will be up to you to experience its consequence. Would you succeed? What would happen to the house if you did? Those are just some of the factors you should take into consideration. Take your time to think it over. Yeah, that is going to be a hard decision. Because as far as I'm concerned, what I would want is to just get Cinders enough money for her to be able to purchase some of her own property and live on her own. Just get away from Carmosa and let her screw herself up. That actually sounds very wise, and not entirely unhelpful. Thank you. I guess I'll go for a walk around the city and think about it. Sounds like a pleasant idea. Would you like some company? Thank you, but I think I'll stick to your advice. Of course. I suppose you deserve some time to yourself to think and discover what you really want. I'm sorry. I did not want to intrude. By no means. Thank you for your offer. I just want to take a solitary walk, that is all. Well, if you need any support, or just feel like chatting, you know where to find me. Thank you, Tobias. See you soon. It's astonishing what a simple walk can do to one's spirits. I hear ya. I love going for walks. If I'm going to miss the freedom to do something, then above all else, it's going to be the freedom to wander about whenever I please. When I walk with no specific goal, no destination, I can just switch off and observe my thoughts jumping into their little drawers. With each step, I can feel my muscles relaxing. And strolling through the market has its moments too. I saw the most gorgeous shoes. Not that I can ever afford them. They were crazily expensive. I get that they were imported from the eastern lands, but at the price they should be made of diamonds and dragon skin. Who buys something like that? I mean, I know I would if I could, but that's besides the point, right? I don't think I ever could. Like, I'd definitely like to be able to buy cute outfits. There's a lot of clothing I'd like to be able to wear, but I never can because of expense. But even if I were to hit it big and make a lot of money, I think there would still be some sort of drawing point for how much money I spend on just one article of clothing. I mean, dear God, we have to pay enough just for bras. A decent bra costs $30. That's nonsense. Forget about it. No reason to dwell on such things. I still haven't decided what to do with my newly gained knowledge. Everything about this business screams that I should use it as leverage, but I don't know how. Not yet. At least it gives me some space, some secure distance from Carmosa, knowing I know about one of her precious secrets. It's almost sunset. I should be getting back home. So long, freedom. It was a pleasure. Hope to see you soon. Maybe you could come and visit sometime? Or at least write? Back to the same old. This feels almost like coming back to prison and out of my own will. After 2 such wonderful days of freedom, it's depressing to know I need to go back to my ordinary life. There, out in the real world, I can meet amazing people, have actual friends. Here, I'm trapped between Carmosa's plots and her poor daughter's bitterness. Sometimes I wonder, what if I were to vanish in the woods? Would anyone notice or care? Maybe that's the answer. Getting lost in the wilderness, befriending an uncivilized but noble tribe of rather short miners, becoming their princess. I see what you're doing. And spending the rest of my days being adored, praised, and... Oh, get a grip on yourself, Cinders. At least I learned some really interesting things today. Interesting. And possibly dangerous for Carmosa. And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
I'm sorry. Baruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no!
That's
He
hilarious.
was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthiel's a she.
That's even funnier. Oh my god. No, okay, so Baruthiel is a Numenorian queen, which is a race of elves in Lord of the Rings, that is essentially a goth who hates all people, hates all color, and hates cats.
Oh,
Despises them.
nice.
So cats are attracted to her for that reason.
Nice.
Perfect.
She.
Nerd!
Hello everyone, welcome back to 4pixels. Kimi and Coke are here, and we have with us Buttons and Leifule from Cacophony of Games, and we're continuing the letter.